G'day, guys. You guys having a wonderful day today. We've got the biggest Na'vi fan on earth, Deadshot. Clearly, nothing about G2 at all, right? Never heard of him. Nico? Who? Honestly, never. Nah. Never heard of these players, mate. Like, it's JL, mate.
It's JO and Alexi B all day.
Yeah, exactly. But no, what have you been up to? What's been happening?
Not much. Just got into the country again last week. So
Yep.
after 6 months away in Europe, it's
How was
still trying to.
other than the CS? How was Europe? Like, what did you get up to in Europe other than the CS?
Mostly just traveled around. Mostly was just traveling around because after London, I went to Spain, then I went to Italy, Copenhagen, Sweden,
Mm-hmm.
and then Germany a couple.
Yeah, that's a
Yes.
pretty, and also you had Malta as well. Is that right?
Yeah, and Malta.
Yep. I gotta say, does Malta remind you a lot about Australia?
Oh yeah, it was 35-degree weather. I was like, oh yes, I'm back.
Oh yeah, because I gotta say, my grandparents wanted to retire there initially, but they decided not to retire there, retire in Cornwall, England.
No.
Probably a better place anyway, I would say. Like, a bit colder, not 40 degrees every day.
Yeah.
But overall, I was gonna say, what made you into a big G2 fan in particular? Because obviously you're a big G2 fan. Like, you're a kind of a big ride or die and very invested. You're like you're like a cricket tragic for G2. Okay.
I think originally it was the league at the time. It was the league team was winning, and then I stopped playing league, and then switched to CS because I found the game more interesting. And then I've just been sticking with CS all the time now. So it's just been G2 all the way since they were like the first organization I was really a fan of.
Mm-hmm. So what was the big draw card of G2? Is it like, obviously league, like, was it the I'm trying to remember some league players. I'm trying to remember if there was the infamous backdoor by Xpeke was G2, but I don't think he was.
No, that was just the backdoor and Carlos, the CEO at the time. But I think it was just mostly because I was kind of bandwagony. I just was like, oh, they're winning, let's follow them.
So
and then I stopped playing League, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I swapped to CS, and then realized basically we were the Tottenham of CS for a while.
Oh, jeez. I'd put Astralis up there with being the Tottenham, okay, being able to bottle everything, but, they won a trophy, so they're probably Arsenal at this point anyway.
Yeah.
No, so I guess overall with G2, like, how happy are you with their results recently? You're pretty good that they're in the top 6 still, or...
Recently, the results, Rio, that was a disaster, but we can push that aside. Blast, I was happy that they won. Semi-finals of Pro League, I'm always happy with at least a top 3 or 4 placing. Even if it's like semi-finals or quarterfinals, I'm happy. Yeah. Because at least it shows we can still do well. Cologne, quarterfinals lost to Mals. It was pretty good. And then when London happened as well, London I was all right with because all the visa issues, and then Taz had to step in. I was like, oh god.
Yeah, that could have gone anywhere in particular, especially with
could have went better.
Especially with no Monacy in particular. Like, obviously, there's a rumor on the cards that Nico has signed with Falcons. Who do you think that G2 is going to pick up after Nico? If that's the case.
The players I'm wanting to see is like it would probably be immediately. I would probably want to see Yimfat join the team, but he looks like he might be going to Vitality. So right now, I'm hoping for.
Do you mean FaZe? Because it's Mouse's FaZe Academy.
Oh yeah, true. But no, right now I'm probably saying it's a long stretch because his buyout's probably a bit too much. But Kiyosuke from Spirit Academy, because he's been dominating tier 2, and I was like, okay, we can pick up another Russian player for a lot of money.
Yeah, pretty much. I was gonna say overall.
Yeah, I was like, we can take Donk 2.0.
What was the biggest pickup that G2's done, you reckon, out of all the players that they've bought out and stuff like that? What's the biggest pickup they had?
The biggest pickup recently, well, yeah, obviously Monacy, and then Malbs as well. But like the biggest pickup probably all time was probably Nico when he came over from FaZe.
I guess overall, like, how, like, with G2, like, G2's team dynamics and, like, win conditions is a lot different compared to other teams because G2 have got so much talent where it's just, like, if Nico and Modesty play well, they win. Like, do you enjoy that sort of thing, or is it just, like, kind of cardiac cat sort of thing?
Recently, I'm just, like, I want to see strategic depth, not just all 4 players have to frag out, and then I'm like, okay. Yeah, but it's like I want to at least see the team having a good strategy into a round setup instead of just immediately just being like, okay, Nika, Monacy, Hunter, go kill everyone. We're fine. Because like a lot of times, like you'll see like Snacks gets outstratted by the top teams. Like that's why we lost 9 games in a row to Navi.
No,
and then the one time we win is when Malbs, Nico, and that are all popping off.
It's just it's just like it's just Balexier, mate. He's just too good of an IGL, mate.
True.
You can't beat him. Like when he goes from Alexi B to Balexier, mate. He's got your number, mate. You can't.
I think I jinxed him though after EPL because I yelled out, "Oh, make sure Blast isn't a best of 5," and then I checked later it was a best of 5.
Oh, jeez. They did win a BO5. Okay, I made a joke,
They won a BO5.
How do we win a BO5? Just win 3 games, forehead.
Yeah.
But, so also as well with G2, like, is there any other teams that you're a fan of in particular? Or, like, do you hope that they'll do well or anything like that?
I always hope, you've got the smaller teams for, like, Australia and stuff. So you've got FlyQuest. I always hope they do well because now I live in this region permanently.
Yeah.
But I also hope Ecstatic from when they played DreamHack Melbourne, I always hope they do well. And then when I've watched their games recently, they were always doing pretty well. So I'm always trying to keep up with like some tier 2 teams.
That team's evolved from a lot because that used to be Lynchby, now it's Ecstatic, now it's Skyman Gladiators. Yeah. I actually didn't realize it was Lynchby Vikings until someone actually pointed it out. Like, you didn't believe it was them and just realized that they just rebranded. You said you've moved to Australia. Where did you live previously? I assume Northern England.
I was born in the UK, in Leeds, and then me, my mum, my dad, my brother, we immigrated to Australia when I was about 6 or 7. Yep. So I've been living here basically most of my life now.
Mm-hmm. So what do you do? What do you do with yourself at the moment? Like, obviously you're a big fan of CS2. A lot of people in Australia in particular have that second job or second thing that they do.
Yeah.
What's that second thing that you do?
Right now, I am just I do basketball refereeing for a decent amount of money for that, but then I'm starting up a job with Australia Post in a couple days. I've got my introduction, and then I start my first shift is November the 3rd.
That's pretty good. Is that more career role or anything like that? Do you get to ride one of those cool bikes that they have that they can go onto the pavement?
Oh no, I'm working in the factory.
So you're in the box factory, mate. Like, you're not in the motorcycles. You're in the box factory.
Sadly not.
Make sure you don't break any of the fragile stuff. Okay, I don't want to have Australian Post and everything being broken. Okay.
It's normal first.
So overall, do you go traveling much, or was this like a big one-off event for you where you just got to travel?
This was originally I had this big plan to travel around Europe in 2020.
Yeah.
But then COVID hit,
mm-hmm.
So delayed the plans for a while, and then my parents and me just came to a compromise and just said when I turn 18,
mm-hmm.
They all book the flights. And I'll go back to see family, friends, and that. But then I had also realized there's CS events on, and then so I pre-booked my tickets for London and Cologne a year in advance before, and then I flew in April, and then landed back last week.
Okay, so did you get homesick at all, like doing a 6-month travel?
Towards the end, I did get very homesick. And now I'm experiencing the weather again of Queensland. I'm like, oh yeah, no, why am I back? It's too hot.
The air conditioning stays on. It never goes off.
Yes. A nice 32-degree weather day. I'm like, oh god, I hate this.
Also, I was going to say, a lot of esports people come from Queensland. Like, how did you get into esports initially? Was it more of a Twitch, Justin TV, or?
It was mostly I had watched it a little bit, like when it had like around 2013, 14, like a tiny bit. I knew of it, and then in 2020 when COVID was big, I was like, I have nothing to do, so I just started tuning into a lot of streams and just was watching a lot. And then when like ESL Pro, well, because the online era for CS was happening at the time, they had the ESL fan cams, and I basically would just join them all the time and just talk to people in the cameras while we were just chatting while we were watching the games, because I was just like, I had no one to talk to.
I do remember that. I think Mac was in there at one point. I was gonna say I was working through some of those, and I do remember like the fan cams going on. I'm sitting there going like, only if I was at home with my webcam I could put it up as well. But so with the ESL fan cam, like, who do you meet through that? Because obviously there's some talent members as well were up there, and some big fans, and also Jason Lake, I think, at one point.
I didn't meet I didn't meet Jason, but I met actually no, I did meet Jason in during one of the ESL Pro Leagues. But I met some big people. I talked to Sponge in there once because he joined in. Frankie. I met like a lot of ESL staff. So we've got Manfa Art, who is the head stage manager of ESL/IEM. So I met him through there, and we've been friends for years now. And I met Tyler Phelan, one of the head replay guys.
Yeah, the replay guys. Yep. I meme him so much because he had that one thing in IEM Sydney. He had the what was it? Fax machine or something like that. Yeah, I'm like, where's the fax machine?
That was the replay box.
Yeah, that's the replay box. Yeah.
After he walked off stage, I messaged him. I was like, you were a bitch.
dude. I always meme I always meme Gomez. I'm like, they're lucky that they got JKS because Henry G was gonna have Gomez drop 50 on him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you got Tyler. Anyone else?
There's a couple. I think there's a couple other people, but like not really much like notable. Really.
So then, like with the CS scene in Australia, obviously you got involved with G2 initially. How do you get involved with the CS2 scene in Australia? Is it like more of a FlyQuest Greyhound angle, or was it like ESA Prem, or?
I was just discovered. I knew about the CS scene in Australia, and then I just because we're such a small community, I just like started talking to a lot of community members, and then it was like slowly I was discovered, and then in 2023 I worked Bris Vegas as an admin. Because I just decided to volunteer. So I met a lot of people through DreamHack Melbourne in person, and then a lot of other people.
Did you become corrupt like Wonder and start taking people's headbands?
I did not, but I did make fun of him a lot for that during IEM Sydney.
Mate, you got to take the headbands, mate. JL, he only has 5 of them, mate. You got to get them all.
I asked him where the headband was while I was backstage of IEM Sydney. I was like, "Where is it, Andrew? Come on, where is it?"
Oh man, he's always a good guy to beat. I met him at PAX, I think just 2 weekends ago. He was really, really good, and it was like you're forcing them to play Nuke because it's a 5v5. I'm like, that's cruel. Oh yeah, that's cruel by your standards. I was about to say you should have made him play Vertigo, but anyway. No, I was gonna say, so you obviously met Mav. You probably met, I think, at that Bris Vegas would have been Conky, Elvish, and
it was
Craft.
Only Elfish.
Oh, Elvish.
I met Craft. I met Elfish. I've met Conky at the first DreamHack Melbourne that we had.
Yep.
And then at IEM Sydney as well, and the DreamHack before that.
Yep.
And yeah.
Have you been to any DreamHacks overseas?
No, I was not overseas for when DreamHack happened.
I'm trying to think. Oh no, yeah, you were. Oh no, you could have gone to. No, you were at Blast during DreamHack Summer, so you couldn't have gone there. Yeah,
so I couldn't have gone to that
yeah.
one.
Yeah, because I remember when, because I've been to DreamHack Leipzig. I always go to DreamHack Winter. Now DreamHack Stockholm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I attended that last event before COVID, the LAN with where Greyhound came second to Big. That was you should have heard the crowd, man. Like, holy moly, that crowd was absolutely crazy. Like, so many German fans, fucking hell, mate. And I'm like the lone Renegades fan. They're like looking at me anytime I cheer.
You're like, yep.
And then they're like, oh, he's Australian, we know. Yeah, that's obvious.
It's better than me during Cologne. No, during the first DreamHack Melbourne when it was Vertex versus it might have been the second one, but it was Vertex versus Rare Atom.
Oh, yeah.
I was sitting in the middle of all the Chinese fans, and I did not want to cheer at all because I was like, I am going to be killed.
I was gonna say overall, like, you know, what has been your most enjoyable crowd so far? Because you've been to a lot of events in particular. Like, you know, what's been your favorite, and you know why it's been your favorite. Oh, why is that?
Cologne just in general went so. Besides the big fans and the Golden Hornets, just the atmosphere of Cologne. Every time I was in the arena, I just had goosebumps, and it was incredible. It was it was breathtaking how much everyone cared, and it was just amazing to see in person.
Mm-hmm. Also, is it actually a cathedral?
Basically, it's a Lanxess, and I walked up to it. My hotel was, I think, about a 5-minute walk from where the Lanxess was, so I just walked.
That was pretty good. Because basically overall, like, you know, I assume you booked like a lot of your hotels like right next to the venue, so you can just walk up and just be done with it, basically.
Yeah, because we got the IEM Cologne coin right here from the goodie bag that they gave us.
Oh, that's pretty good. Did you get like VIP tickets for each one, or the
I didn't get the VIP tickets for Cologne. I got I just got the normal ones, but I ended up just the second day I ended up just asking if I could go down to the premium, and then Ollie got me down to the premium the second day, and then the third day I just snuck past the security and then walked down.
Who's Ollie, by the way? I forget his name. Like, you know, game attack.
Ollie is Man for Arts, so he's the head stage manager.
He's the stage manager. Oh, okay, I was gonna say, like, you know, you snuck past him, and then you're like, oh wait, you know the guy.
Yeah. No, he literally the second day he jumped over the fence, walked me up the stairs, and was like, oh yeah, he's with me. And I was like, yep, I definitely work this event.
Yeah, definitely work this event.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so someone's asked a question. Mr. Hair Model himself, Pingu. He's asked an important question. Who's Deadshot and anybody I should know? You know, he's head of security of Blast now, by the way. You know, just him by the good hair, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I met him at my first DreamHack, and literally, it's like literally perfect hair, like perfectly gelled, and I'm like just memeing him like hair model. Fucking looks like it's so bad. Like, looks like one of those people, one of those posters, you know, the hairdressers. You know, they have like good hair. They have these fucking Pingu. Okay, 100%.
Yeah.
Obviously he works Blast. He was telling me one time that he was working like 40 degrees temperatures, because what happened is that the building next to him would reflect the sun, and they would come into the building, and their building's like a greenhouse. So.
Oh God.
Yeah. And it was telling me how he was hoping the B stream stayed up because it was like 40 degrees. I don't even know head of security. He's the head of production. Okay, I'm just memeing it. Okay.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, so overall, like, you know, with the goodie bags and whatnot, because you've obviously been to a lot of conventions and a lot of other stuff in particular. Which tournament had the best goodie bag?
I've only got 2 really goodie bags, because I got IEM Sydney's, and then I got Cologne. I think I got one the first DreamHack, but I don't know where a lot of that stuff is now. It's probably floating around somewhere. But I think the best one was probably IEM Sydney so far, because Cologne we only really got a coin, and then we got a Rubik's Cube.
Oh yeah,
and that was it. Yeah, it's like the Rubik's Cube is right next to me, just on my desk.
Really, did they start giving those out again? Because I remember like they say they would stop giving them out in 2018-19. And I gave it to one of my buddies that love Rubik cubes. They've done it again.
They did that, and then it was like you could buy the coins in the store, and I went to try buy one the rest of the coins the last day, but they were all sold out, and I was so disappointed. So I just ended up buying a bunch of Colex cards.
Okay. So what sort of Colex cards? What are they basically like?
It's basically like NFT cards. So you just like you scan on an app, and then you can like trade them between people.
Okay. It's kind of like the pins at PAX, basically, where you can trade pins between people. Yeah. Also, as well, like, you know, with CS2 in particular, like, you know, what drew you to the game over other games in particular was like the realism aspect, the 5v5, the incredible clutches. Like, what drew you to it a lot?
For CS, I think it was just a lot of the time. I have been a big fan of FPS shooters for a while. So I was just like, originally, I think I was a big Rainbow Six fan. And then I've just slowly stopped watching that. But then like CS, I think it was just a lot of the time it was the crowd, and then just in general, just like it was just fun to watch because it was just like fun to analyze the game in depth and learn the game.
What's the funniest thing that you've seen happen in the crowd before? Okay.
What was it? It was. Well, besides IEM Sydney, we had the beer snake. We had a balloon snake in Cologne, where because you were only allowed 2 cups for the event, so you couldn't bring cups back to your seat. You had to bring one back to the bar at the premium section, which was stupid. But basically, someone grabbed like all the like the bangers. And then tied them all together, and they made like a giant like banger snake around the bottom floor of the arena.
Talking about that, we're going to talk about some of the events and how you rate it overall as a fan. You know, we're going to rate the 3 events that you went to. Or, no, you know, not rate, but like, you know, really just talk about it. And let's talk about the first one overall. So, I believe the first one is Blast London, okay? Yep. So... You went to London. How did you enjoy London?
London, I went to for 4 days because I went to see my cousin who lives up in Southampton for 3 days. So I was there with them, and then I left for London. London was really good. I met up with a big group of people who were all in the ITV Into the Breach Discord server, and we all met up.
Did you meet up with Sam?
Sam was not there. I'm pretty sure. Yep. I don't think Sam was at London. But we had it was like a big group of us, and she did say this, but shout out to her name's Emily. She basically was taking care of me the whole event. Like they were all trying to take care of me because I was the foreigner back in the country, and I was like, but. Blast London, I'd probably say was the second most fun event because I hung out with a bunch of group of people for that whole event, and we were just talking. It was good to finally meet a lot of my online friends in person.
So how easy was it to get in and out of London, particularly into the event? Because I think the event was at Wembley, was it? Was it right?
Yeah, it was. For me, it was pretty easy because my hotel was it was a 42-minute walk, but I could get a bus from across the street from my hotel that would take me directly to Wembley, and then it was like a 3-minute walk to where Wembley was.
Oh, that's pretty good. Where did you stay at? It's like around in London, like what area?
I can't remember the area. All I know is it was a sketchy area because the hotel was cheap.
I'm not sure which part of London then. That's gonna be a hard one, actually.
It's London. It's sketchy all around.
Yeah. Did you take like a tour around Wembley itself? Like, you know, obviously it's a rich football stadium.
I just walked around. I walked around the stadium the first day before the event started because I got there way too early. I think I got there like 7:30. The doors didn't open till like 11.
Oh,
so I was just like, so I just walked. I was just walking around the arena. I went to Box Park and met up for like at the Binmen meetup.
Yep.
But I didn't really talk to anyone. I was just too shy, and I was just like, I didn't want to say hi to anyone. So I just was like hanging out with a couple friends, and then we just went out and walked around for a bit.
So how was the event overall? Because I think it was 3 days, right? And you had a lot of different talent and whatnot. Like, you know, how was it overall? Like, you know, with Blast, like, you know, the drinks, you know, the fan experience, stuff like that. Like, you know, what was it like?
Overall, I'd say the fan experience was really good. It was, I'd probably put it just below Cologne. Actually, no. Cologne would be a top. Blast would be second, and then Pro League would be last because it's a small one. It's a small event. So, but it was overall it was really good. The fan experience was fun. Going to the pub, the pub that was across from the arena, the White Horse, and meeting like a lot of the talent was nice as well. Because I met Hugo in person for the first time, and then so I met Hugo. I met Apex outside the pub as well. But the fan experience, it was just fun. It was mostly just me wanting to hang out with like a lot of friends before I went traveling around Europe for a couple months. And
any like tips in particular? Someone's asked in chat, like what to do when you go to big events. Like, you know, what's your kind of take on it?
For me, for big events, mostly I just want to hang out with friends because like, or I just make friends, try make friends with people so I'm not alone. So like a lot of the time I just want to either meet up with some friends that I know or make new friends because a lot of the time, like if I'm at an event alone, I just kind of feel really lonely and I'm just like I don't know anyone. So yeah, but it was so most of the time I just try and make friends with people.
Is it just get talking with people, just have a bit of banter back and forth and stuff like that?
It helps because if I have something in common with someone, like because we're all at an esports event, like because we have that in common, I'm always able to talk pretty easily, so it's easy to chat and all that.
How are the games overall down there as well? Like with Blast, you know, what was your favorite series overall?
Favorite series overall, I'd probably say it might have been the grand final. It was Na'Vi vs Spirit. That was a really good grand final. Also getting to see Donk play in person was insane because that kid has so much talent in like his pinky finger. I could not imagine going up against him.
Yeah, I guess overall, like, you know, Team Spirit is one of they got to the world final, obviously playing in Singapore coming up later this. No, not later this month. Next month.
Yeah, next month.
Yep. So, like, overall, the Blast, you know, what teams were you impressed with and which teams you weren't so impressed with?
Most impressed by, it was, Spirit, and then we had Na'Vi as well. I was impressed by Vitality. I was always impressed by because, one, Mezzy, it's his home crowd, so we were cheering for him. But then, I've always had a soft spot for Vitality because I love Flamesy. He's one of the sweetest pros I've met and talked to, and then he's also just a really good player. So I've always had a soft spot for him.
Okay, interesting question. Interesting question from someone who's definitely not involved with Letty. How's meeting Letty for the first time?
It's very short. No, I'm kidding.
Is she just as cool as she is on Twitch? Very important.
She is. She's Letty is an absolute sweetheart in person. Like during I think it was the G2 Na'Vi series. I was really bloody nervous because I was like, oh god, who? I was like, this might be the 8th loss in a row, and she was there. She gave me chocolate to calm me down. So she's an absolute sweetheart.
I would have told you it's going to be the 9th loss in a row as I write the script.
She's an absolute sweetheart. She's terrifying because all short people are terrifying.
Yeah, I know. That's why I write the script. You know, I don't know. I got that joke from like Tom Grossi, like where he he says if the NFL was scripted, that show is fucking hilarious. Like all the bullshit that comes out. I like this one. Okay, she's short. Eddie, come on, bro. Come on. I have seen you with her.
Yeah. Eddie was the one who like basically got me to go up to her because I saw her the night before of Pro League and I was too nervous to go up and say hi. And I saw Mac. It was like Mac, Letty, Holzerk, and JT were all in the lobby of the hotel.
Have you also?
And I didn't know I was allowed in the hotel, so I was just like, I just awkwardly stood outside of it and was just like, and then I didn't want to say hi to anyone.
Oh, don't worry, I've had that moments as well. It's like, am I allowed in or not? Like, dude, you should have seen me during the IEM Sydney VIP party and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't think I should be in there because I have VIP. And then this is the craziest part because I've told a story to a lot of people. Okay, so there was a guy working DreamHack Melbourne who I took a photo with after he set me up like really easily and whatnot. Like, and he helped me out a lot with the streaming. He was working at Fortress Sydney that night and got me into the VIP party. And then he worked the next DreamHack Melbourne, and he's like, "How crazy is the fact that I was working at IEM Fortress Sydney that night, the night that he came for the VIP party?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I talk about it all the time because it's absolutely fucking nuts. Because you don't get that. You don't get that luck."
Yeah. That was me during IEM Sydney because I got offered a free backstage tour and I was like, oh, okay. And then I took two FaZe fans who it was like their first event. And I just took them backstage with me, and they were like, "What the hell?" And it's me just standing there, and I'm like talking to Sponge and Machine before the Ents game. Yeah, I was like, "Oh, I guess."
Oh, then that Ents game at IEM City was so disappointing. I've never seen a team just get absolutely crushed,
absolutely destroyed. I was on the stage for when I think they won the 7th round, and I was just standing behind the curtain, and I was just like, "Yeah, okay, damn, the stage is very shaky."
Yeah. I guess overall for Blast, obviously you had some great games and whatnot. Did you go to the after party or anything like that in particular? Like, or you went back to the hotel room, or did you go to a different after party of like ITB and stuff like that?
We went to, there was no ITB after party, but we went to after we went to the White Horse, which was the pub, because I met up with Hugo that night. Me and just the group of friends, we all walked back to a Weatherspoons that was nearby, and then we all just got drinks together. That's also where I met Cypher, but he was too drunk to remember. So
okay, I can say with Weatherspoons, obviously that's a if you guys don't know, that's a chain pub in England, and I didn't know that when I went there the first time. But like, has it actually, like, what does it serve there now these days? Because I know it's like a full restaurant pub now.
It's just basically the same as like most restaurant pubs. Like, they'll serve fish and chips, onion rings, all that, and then you've got your drinks and all that.
So overall with Blast, like, with the games and the crowd and whatnot, where do you rate that? Like, compared to like most events, like, out of a scale of 1 to 5.
I'd say games-wise, I'd say it's a 3 out of 5. Because there were some games that were disappointing. It was like Virtus Pro versus Na'Vi was just that was done quick. So I was like, oh, okay. Crowd-wise, the crowd was okay. I'd say about 3 as well. Like, sometimes they were just dead silent, so it was just like, But overall, I'd still rate the crowd pretty highly.
Was there any crowd cheating?
No, we're not Brazil.
Also as well, like, did you meet Apex as well? Like, the Vitality? Because you talked about the Golden Hornets overall. How are they as a fan base?
Oh, they are fun. Like, they're all really sweet, but my God, they are loud. Like, I was before I got down to the premium section the second day, I was sitting next to them during the G2 game, and my God, they were shaking the stand from like how they were jumping around and stuff during the games. It was insane to watch.
Did you meet like any of the Golden Hornets, like people who organize all the events or whatnot, or got invited to any of their stuff?
I think I met one of them, but I didn't like have a long enough conversation. Really, I think I talked to him for about 10 minutes, and then I was just like, okay, cool.
Yeah. So obviously with Blast, you had Team Spirit and RV. That's probably my banger grand final, to be honest. Obviously Team Spirit winning. We get into your next event, which is another big event. Yet IEM Cologne, and I've got to say, I could have actually gone to IEM Cologne one year because I was in Amsterdam for TwitchCon, and IEM Cologne was going on at the same time. So I was just like, problem is I didn't have a car, Because I saw a road sign saying it was like 60 kilometers away, and I'm like, well, I could actually drive down. It's pretty close actually.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's 360. I'm not terribly too sure. Maybe I'm thinking about Berlin. I'm not terribly too sure. But obviously, IEM Cologne, big event, one of the top, or the top, obviously ESL event, and you had obviously Vitality v Navi in the final. How was that from a fan experience? Because this was a bigger tournament blast. It wasn't 8 teams; it was 16.
Yeah. So, definitely a bucket list event. It was so fun to be at, and then I got there dead early most of the time. I basically got there dead early all 3 days, just because one, I wanted to get in the line early, but then two, I spent so much on merchandise that it's ridiculous.
What merch did you get?
I've got one on right now. I've got the IEM Cologne. Oh, there. IEM Cologne hoodie. I've got a Cologne shirt that came in the goodie bag. I've got the Inferno and Mirage hoodies. And then I bought 2 of the CS Origin shirts, but I bought them for friends, and then I sent them over to them, and then they paid me back.
Also,
and then I bought just a lot of like Colex cards and stuff.
Did you get any of the like goodie bags in particular? So you got a shirt from it. Anything else other than the Rubik's Cube? Because you already said that as well.
We got the shirt. We got the Rubik's Cube from the goodie bag. We got the coin from the goodie bag as well.
Yep.
We got a lanyard. My lanyard's upstairs. Same. And I think we got a bracelet that would light up in sync with like the game, with like the lighting of the arena and stuff. And then what was going on in the game as well.
So I was gonna say overall, like, how was Cologne from a fan perspective over Blast? Because obviously you rated it higher than that, like, what sort of people do you meet and whatnot as well?
During Cologne, I didn't know anyone, but so I met up with like, I think it was just like a bunch of people who had been to Cologne before, and then so like we all met up, and then we were just talking and stuff, and then they added me to a WhatsApp group so we could meet up every day of the event. But so it was me and a bunch of other people, and we got a photo of Banks, the group of us, and then I was basically mostly sitting with them a lot of the time, and a lot of the time, all of them were like, "Wait, you're from Australia? Jesus fucking Christ! How are you feeling?" I was like, because they were all worried that I was jet lagged to hell.
Oh yeah, because I do remember that, because you met one of the people that I'd met at Leipzig, which is Beck, and
Beck,
because she liked my casting of Katie, and Katie got an ace when he was playing with Heroic a long time ago. Okay, this was before 2. But like they flew in for Leipzig to watch Heroic and Mad Lions play, and I was gonna say, I'm like, when I think Renegades beat, I think it was Mad Lions on Nuke to eliminate them, I was like, I can't believe they won that. But that was good. It was sitting by her and her husband. It was pretty awesome overall. Like, who else was part of that pack as well? Because obviously I know that Beck was part of that pack.
Yeah, so we had Beck. We had his name's founder on Twitter, but his name's I can't remember. Actually, I don't know his real name. I think I only know him by his Twitter. But then we had a couple like Scottish guy named Oscar, who on the way back, when I was flying back to Edinburgh from Cologne, me and him were sitting next to each other, so we were just talking on the plane about the event and all that. And then there was a couple other people, but I can't really remember.
That's pretty good.
Oh wait, and I did meet Tromberg for the first time in person. She's an absolute sweetheart.
Oh, they're the same. They're different people. Tromberg is Vivek. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just call her by her last name. I'm just like,
Yep. No, overall, she's an absolute gem. She's like one of the biggest Danish fans there is.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely insane. Also, every time, like, I hope Heroic win, but I don't like Astralis too much. And I'm just like, I'm breaking her heart every time I say that.
Yeah. So I met her and her husband. I met both of them at HLTV Confirmed.
Oh, how was that? Because that was also at the Cologne, right?
Yeah. HLTV Confirmed. It was good to be there. honestly, it was probably the worst one in person, and I'm kind of disappointed because we had the Saw guys, we had Dennis and someone else from like
which Dennis?
Dennis he used to play on Sprout. I can't remember.
Okay, yeah.
That Dennis.
Because there's two.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's the Fnatic one as well.
Yeah, but it's it was him and the Saw guys, Yanko, Yanko, yeah, Striker, Sponge, and all that, and then we were meant to have JL, but I think he cancelled last minute, so it was like really disappointing.
Oh, that's a bit annoying. So what did they talk about in the HLTV confirmed? Because I don't pay attention to that podcast too much. Because it's so early on in the morning for me, like this, at 2 a.m. and I'm just like asleep. I'm just gone, mate.
That one, they were at the start. They were talking about just like Saw's run, how they made semifinals of quarterfinals at the time of Cologne. Then we had Yanko and Nat come on. They were just talking about because the new update had also dropped that day. So it was like, oh, fun. We had to adapt quick, so we had and they were just like talking about like the games, who they think's gonna win, and then they brought on the Saw guys, and then they were chatting to them for a little bit.
Also, as well, I was just checking as well because I think you just play League. Do you play any other games, or you just spectate most games these days?
Most days now I just spectate all of them because I'm just like I'm not good enough.
Oh, don't worry.
I play CS a lot. I've been playing CS a lot recently, but like that was just because I was in Europe and I was like, okay, let's practice against some European players. And then I was just like, that's it, really. Like I haven't been touching many games.
I kind of I've done that as well. Kind of given up on them. I'm just like, I'm just happy being average and just being as good as I can be, basically, as well. That's pretty much it for me.
Yeah.
So overall, Cologne, good matches, good finals overall. Have you played OCE pugs or anything like that? Is there any difference between EU and OCE pugs?
Just playing EU pugs. Everyone tries. OCE pugs. It's just like, I don't play at a high enough level in both of them, but all I know is from everyone who I know who plays high, like level 10 OC, they're just like, it's not much of a difference, but it's just like EU, everyone's trying, everyone's like, and everyone's a lot like just really good. So it was like a shell shock moment with I couldn't just run through smokes.
Jeez, trying to be a smoke criminal, basically.
Yeah.
So with Cologne overall, like how were the shoulder pieces in that as well? Like the shoulder content, like was any shoulder content done on stage or anything like that?
We had like a Netflix. Netflix was filming for a show that they were filming in Cologne, so they went inside the arena. I can't remember what the show was, but they basically had like a little bit of content where Netflix was filming the show. The actor would run out on the stage, basically talk to us like in the show's universe about like I can't remember what it was, but then it was just like us just cheering. Basically, we were extras for a little bit.
Oh, that's pretty good. Also, with the HLTV confirmed, like did they bring Barry and a few others like that on now they've left us?
No, it was just a Mudieris and Roman. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you get to meet Prof and anything like that as well, like after the show for HLTV confirmed, or was it just going to the pub or like that?
No, they basically. I just went back to my hotel because I wanted to go to sleep because I was like I'm ready for the next day, and then so I didn't meet Prof in person, but I had messaged him and then posted him on my story as well, and then he replied to the story, and I chatted just saying like where are you so I can try and meet up with you, but then I didn't get to meet up with him.
Also, I was going to say, what's the difference between booze in England and booze in Germany? Because obviously Germans like pride themselves on having like pure beer and great beer and whatnot.
I wouldn't say much because I didn't drink much in England. Like when we went to the Wetherspoons, I was not really, but I don't drink much in general, so I was just like, but I'd say the booze in Germany it's a lot. Well, is a lot more strong. Like because someone at like 9 o'clock in the morning brought a 6-pack of beers to the line of Cologne, and we were all just standing there. We were just like, so people grabbed lawn chairs, sat it up next to the fence, and we were all just chilling and drinking. And then someone bought apple vodka sours and stuff as well.
I was gonna say, how's the food there as well? Like, you know, with England in particular, like, you know, what do you get in Germany? Like, you get more sausages, schnitzels. Like, what did you get there?
Yeah, schnitzels. The food was really nice in Germany. I mostly just got like currywurst because there was like there was
what is
like,
that? So like a sausage or?
It's a sausage mixed in with like curry and stuff. Because there was like a local restaurant not far from my hotel, and I went there for breakfast some days, but they also had breakfast in my hotel, so I was mostly just toast, yogurt, and all that.
That sounds pretty good actually, because I remember this is actually the funny part, because obviously when I was in Berlin, I went to a bar and I'm like, oh, can I have some Coke? And they were thinking I was asking for the drug, because Coke is a nickname only in Australia, okay?
Yeah.
And the streamer buddies that I came out with were like looking at me like this. They're going like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? And I'm like, oh, no, Coca-Cola. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I had to explain to him, it's called Coke in Australia.
Yeah.
Do you go to any...
I was trying to introduce a lot of Germans to shoeies. I was like, this is my relevance for this.
Yeah. Did you get to like any German pubs or anything like that while you're there? Obviously, you went to the English pub.
Not really. I think I went out to they had a big after party the second night of Cologne with Big Clan, and so I just went there because it was near the train. It was near the the main train station in Cologne.
Yep.
And so I went there for about an hour, 2 hours, and it was just not really much though. I didn't go out to much pubs and all that and drink.
Did you get to meet anyone in particular there as well, like any of the big players, Tabson, anything like that, or any of the big fans? Because they're crazy.
I met the big fans. I was talking to like some of the people. I met Shocks, which I was internally absolutely screaming because I love Shocks. She was like one of the first people I had ever watched like in esports, so it was good to see her in person. And who else was it? I met. Yeah, it was mostly just Shocks. I got a free signed Monacy photo from Manfor Arts because he messaged me. He was just like, "Who do you like more, Monacy or Nico?" I was like, "Are you?" And for a second, I was thinking, "Is he gonna bring them out to sit next to me?"
Yeah.
I was so nervous, and then I just said it, and then he gave me a free signed Monacy photo. So I was like, "Oh, I'll take that."
So they didn't sign the mask you've got back there. They signed the photo. Do you have the photo? Do you have the photo with you or no? Is it close by?
It's upstairs. But
don't worry about it. Yeah. Because I was gonna say, you know, Cologne would have been a big event. So I gotta say, Shock. So I was gonna say, she's been in esports since fucking aeons. I remember the first gig she hosted for the league. How is it that she's hosting a big CS events these days? Like, you know, must be feeling right at home. Must be super awesome that she's made that changeover as well. Well, not changeover, but added that as well.
Yeah, it was good to see. Also, because she was in Germany at the time as well. So, but it was really cool to see because she did a great job. Oh wait, another big person I did meet was Banks, because I met him outside the arena and I got a photo with him.
Oh yeah, because I did see that photo as well. Which talent you were trying to get photos with that you couldn't in the end, other than Prof?
I wanted to try get YNK, but then I couldn't get him, so I just left it, and then I didn't see him at Pro League either, so I was like, damn.
I gotta say, with Yenko in particular, I remember seeing him, Yenko, doing interviews because I was co-streaming in Pro League, and he was doing an interview, and I'm like, Yenko, your body language looks like you don't want to be there.
That is his body language.
Yeah, it looks like it so much, but like he is so passionate.
Yeah.
He's such a good analyst at the desk and whatnot. But when he was interviewing, like Yanko, body language, you gotta look like you're into it. You gotta look like you love your guests, basically. But his interview style was so funny because he's not putting that on. It's just how he is.
Yeah, he's just like that. Yeah.
Yep. Did you get to the backstage playing any of the table tennis and whatnot? Because I know a lot of CS pros play table tennis, and I've seen the background of IEM Sydney, ESL Pro League, and all that jazz.
Yeah. IEM Sydney, I got to go backstage. I didn't play table tennis with anyone, but I didn't get to see I did see the table tennis thing. Cologne, I was backstage for a little bit, but I didn't see the table tennis back there. Pro League, I saw Mac and Letty playing table tennis. Letty sucks at table tennis, my god. It's awful.
And this is MIBR and KZG and FIFA all over again, okay? The sledges come out, that KZG got smoked 8-0 in FIFA by MIBR.
Yeah, no, so we had fun part about Pro League was after the MIBR game, I think it was Drop, he came down and sat in the crowd with the Brazilian fans while we were watching the G2 versus Navi game.
Anything else you want to say for IEM Cologne before we switch over to ESL Pro League? Because that was
I think just as like an event, Cologne was one of my bucket list ones, and I'm so glad I got to go to it finally. And then after it ended, I think I was just sitting. I sat in the arena for like 20 minutes, a good 20 minutes, just being like taking it all in. I was like, yeah, this will probably be a one-time thing because it's so expensive to go back.
Yeah. Do you recommend everyone to just go to like an IEM Katowice or IEM Cologne or even the major?
I wanted to go to Katowice, but I wasn't in Europe at the time when the Katowice happened, and now it's too expensive to go back. So I was just like, oh, okay. So, but I wanted to go to the major, but I don't think I'll be allowed to because work's starting up, and then also it's right after my brother's birthday, so I don't think my mother would appreciate me leaving to go to China.
But would you recommend people to just go to these big events one at a time? Yeah.
Yes, it's a once in a lifetime moment if you can get to go to an event like Cologne or a Katowice if you're not from the country.
So next up we go to ESL Pro League, and I say ESL Pro League was more of a cozy little tournament. I'm going to say it reminds me of obviously the ESL Pro League 20. It reminds me of a little cozy little tournament. It was kind of like Summit in a way, with how it was, because it was very chilled and laid back. So what days were you there for ESL Pro League? Was it the first few days or the finals or stuff like that?
I was there for the whole event, but I arrived in Malta on the 16th, and I had 8 days in Malta, so I was there for basically most of the group stage of Group B, and then I was there for all 3 days of the playoffs when they allowed the crowd in. Yeah.
So how was it in the ESL Pro League crowd? Because obviously there was the controversy. How bad was it?
The Turkish fans, they were loud, but yeah, you could tell that a lot of the time, when Turkish players were getting close to a player or something. It was the same with the Brazilians as well, because when Brazil were playing, when it was Turkey versus Brazil, I honestly thought that was going to be a brawl. But it was when a Turkish player was close to or just aiming in the direction of a player, you just hear them go oh, and then it ramp up and all that.
Is it kind of like an AFL game where a player's behind the player and they don't realize it, oh yeah.
It was kind of like that, but then most of the Turkish fans they were actually the sweetest people after the games. I talked to a couple of them after they lost to Navi, because I was just I know what it feels like to be from a small region. Don't worry.
Yeah. So I was gonna say overall, obviously it's a more small, cozy event. How many people were in the crowd for that? It was I know it was double digits.
It was actually it'd be triple digits now, because it was about 150, maybe 200 people in there.
Okay, I didn't realize it could fit that much. It just looks like from
It
the
was
camera angle that the front of it seemed so
from the
small.
camera angle. Oh, the front of it was small, like because where I was sitting, I was right in front of the trophy, and they had the big screen above us, but they didn't. They had two TVs towards like the side for the other people sitting down, but like so I had to stretch my neck a lot. But it was basically the at like the back area there was a lot more people, and like you could see a lot more people,
Okay.
and so it was relatively, it was small, but it was decently packed. It was packed basically all in 3 days.
Yeah. So overall, you said the Brazilian fans as well and the Turkish fans. Obviously, which ones
Yep.
do you rate the best, like out of all the fans, like the Navis and stuff like that you saw on each day or so in the finals?
I'd say the Navi fans were the most fun. We had a couple of G2 fans. I was the most vocal. My vocal cords were gone by the end of that second day. But it was like, so we were just I'd say the Turkish fans, for hype and all that, they were really good. The Brazilian fans, when Brazil is playing, they're really good. But when they like after Brazil MIBR got eliminated, a lot of them just left. Like they ditched, and I was like, it was just kind of disappointing to see. But Turkish fans were good. The Navi fans were mostly just it was just a bunch of people just cheering for Navi, and I was like, okay, cool. And a lot of the time I was just talking to like Navi staff and stuff occasionally when I was chatting to them.
Yeah. So obviously you said you got backstage with Mac or Lady and stuff like that. Anyone else during ESL Pro League that you got to talk to? Because I know you took a lot of pictures. I'm just trying to think of who actually at this point.
Who did I meet? So I met Stunner and Moses. I met when I was the second night after G2 lost. I met me and two other friends. We went to the bar inside the hotel. And I got a drink with Stunner. I think it was at the bar. It was Stunner, Moses, me, my friends, Nico, Taz, and I think it was the analyst for G2, or it's one of their managers.
Yeah.
But they were all there, and Stunner was nice enough to pay for one of my drinks for the night, and then we left. I think we left around 1 a.m., 1:30 in the morning, and then the next night I left around. I just was there by myself because I was talking to Flames, Letty, of course, Letty, Moses, and a couple other people. And then I left around 2 o'clock in the morning to go back to my hotel.
Yeah, that sounds like a amazing, more vibey event where it's just like a chilled out background and just just chilling with the people and whatnot. Do you do anything?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun just to chat with them.
Was there anything on the last night, like any parties? Like you had IEM Cologne and Blast had their respective parties. Was there anything like that for ESL Pro League, or was it just like
it was just mostly chill?
Let's just get a few bevies and
Yeah, it was mostly just people just like either some of the talent went down to the bar, but then they had a talent only like
party
area where they went up to went up and they were having a party up in there, drinking a couple things because Flames went up there for a little bit and then he came back down, but I was chatting to Moses and a couple others on last night of Pro League, and then it was just nice to see.
How was Flames as a player, particularly? Because obviously you talked to a lot of them at the bar and whatnot. Like, what sort of motivations and stuff? Like, what sort of things does he do?
I didn't really talk to him in depth about like his motivations and stuff, but I was mostly just chatting to him, like catch up, because it was the first time I had got to chat to him in person since 2022 because the first DreamHack when OG were there.
Yep.
So me and him were just chatting for a while, and then I was just at the bar just talking to a couple other people, and then I was just trying to get photos of some players and that as well.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like with ESL Pro and whatnot, like obviously you rated at the lower end for the crowd, but I'll say overall, like, is it kind of like a Beyond the Summit sort of event where it's just like everyone just puts their feet up and has a good time and just gels around?
It's just a fun event. Like, yeah, everyone's putting their feet up, just relaxing.
Mhm.
And it's just like everyone's always happy to talk, and it's a lot easier to like meet like the players and stuff.
Mhm.
Like you can just meet them outside like the hotel. Like, because I met after when I was walking past the hotel, just like because I was meeting up with some friends near, like there was an arcade across the street from the hotel, and I was going to meet up with some friends there. I met Chopper and Shira
Mhm.
outside the hotel.
How was that?
And
Did they speak good English or?
they speak all right English. I just said to them, I was like, "Can I have a photo?" And then we chatted. I chatted to them for maybe like 5 minutes, and then they walked off, and then walked to like I think it was an Adidas store like across the street.
Oh. Oh. I was
Yeah.
thinking stereotypical.
Stereotypical Russians.
Yeah. But I remember casting Shiro when he was in that Gambit Youngsters roster for like the first time. They got like number one seed just to lose in the first round of playoffs.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I would say like more chill event. Trying to think of a question here. Did you go to all the Malta beaches and whatnot? Because I know there was a lot of people cycling around, a lot of people doing runs and whatnot. From what a few others were talking about. Like, did you do anything special down there?
I not really. I just went to like the St. Julian's Beach, which was the closest one to us, to my hotel, which was like it was an 8-minute walk from where my hotel was to that beach. But then I also did I went on a boat ride to the Blue Lagoon and I swam there for a little bit.
It's like a good scuba diving area. Like, what's the Blue Lagoon known for?
It's like a known. It's like just like a known area in Malta because the water's really crystal clear.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a nice caves around, but yeah, it's also known for like its scuba diving and all that.
Mm-hmm. Sounds pretty good, actually. Is there anything else to do in Malta other than just enjoy life, basically? Like, is there any like tourist traps?
Oh, just the clubbing in general is a tourist trap. Like the area where the hotel was for Pro League, there's like a little gap area where there's like just bars and pubs and all that, and then up the street it's literally just club upon club upon club upon club. So it's always packed with tourists there.
Is it like basically a Ibiza and that's it?
Basically.
Jeez. Oh. So, like with ESL Pro League, so you got the stage manager and whatnot. Did you get any like player photos there as well? Like, is it more easy to get player photos than compared to all the other events?
Yeah, it was a lot easier because like you could just wait in the hotel lobby and then you would get players. That's how I met that's how I got a photo with JKS because my friend, I was just sitting in the hotel lobby chatting to friends, and then they pointed out, they were like, "Oh, Liquid's coming in." I was like, "Oh, okay," and they were like, "Oh yeah, JKS is right there." I was like, I've never got up so fast in my life and sprinted.
You sure it was him and not Bro? Because Bro was there too.
He was there, but he had left. He had left by then. A lot of them had left. Like one of the days, Floppy and Grim had walked past me, and I was so tempted, but I kept my mouth shut. But I was so tempted to yell out at Floppy, "Look at me, Ricky!"
Dude, he's gonna have nightmares at that moment. Look at me, Ricky.
I was just like, nope, just bite my tongue. Shush, don't talk.
Sorry, continue.
Oh yeah, no, but it was like, yeah, I met all of Liquid, I met all of Navi, I met most of Spirit because I only met Chopper and Shira.
Yeah.
I didn't meet Magix or Donk, which was sad, but I met then most of G2 because I met Malbs, I met Nico and Monacy, and then we had and then the only ones I missed out on were Snacks and Hunter.
Oh, dude, I'd love to get a picture of Snacks, original VP leader in general. In general, it's like amazing player. Also, Rooster and FlyQuest. Did you get to meet both of them?
No, I did not, sadly, because Rooster, the day I arrived, were leaving. So I was like,
come on, you surely could have tackled down TJP, mate.
I was just exiting the airport and I was like, they're all gone now. I was like, damn.
FlyQuest,
was like the day. FlyQuest were long gone.
Yeah.
They were long gone. I was like, oh yeah, and then like the last day they had photos and stuff, and I was so tempted because there was just a giant like big photo of Inns, and I was like, wonder if I can send this to his mom.
Ooh. And they would definitely like that, okay?
Yeah.
Nah, Dan, you know what? Annette thinks Inns should be benched. Every time, like, Inns misses a kill, like, you know, the jokes of, I think they made, like, they were saying, ask Alice to be benched, and she's like, nah, it should be benched. Inns, the #1 ticket holder for the Brisbane Lions, the premiership winning Brisbane Lions.
The premiership.
He hates AFL, by the way. He's a rugby person, but it's just a joke.
Yeah.
Well, we got all those events out the way, and I gotta say, we're gonna do a secret 4th topic to talk about for you in particular, okay? Which is gonna be the rumored event of IEM Spring, and everyone thinks it's IEM Melbourne, okay?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that? Like,
my thoughts are mostly just conspiracy theories, but yes, I was like, when I watched the video and then it was like, oh, they announced IEM Spring, and then they put the picture up of Sydney, I was like, okay, it's definitely one of those places. And then I looked at the dates for like DreamHack and all that, and I was like, okay, they line up well enough with Melbourne. So I was like, okay, this is probably going to be a combined event with DreamHack.
Yeah.
Like what they did with Dallas.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I'm thinking the same thing. Like, the moment when I saw, like, you know, you just know the behavior of some people when you know it's going to happen. Like, they can't contain their excitement. And they just basically leak it. It's like, bro, like...
Yeah.
It's fairly obvious that it's somewhere. I mean, it's like, obviously, in Australia and Melbourne, whatnot in particular. Do you think that'll be a lot bigger? Let's just say it is IEM Melbourne. Do you think that will make DreamHack a lot bigger of an event? Like, you know, you would get those international crowds and you would get those people flying into Australia?
I feel like they might make the DreamHack a little bit bigger, but it's like, wasn't it like, well, yeah, the DreamHack I couldn't make because I was in Europe. That was almost sold out, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, that was almost sold out because they had the Trash Taste Boys, they had Cold Ones.
Yep.
Oh yeah, they had the anime VTuber thing as well.
You got it. You know, VTuber. I forget what the name is. It's a big band or whatever it is. You know, you can't be mean to Terry. Okay, Terry loves their concerts.
Yeah.
Oh, Hollow Live. That's right. That's Hollow Live. That's right. Hollow Live concert. Yeah, that's right.
It is.
Terry was still there, mate.
Yeah, that's what I was, and I was like, it's probably going to be a lot bigger because then with them combining it with IEM, most likely. I'm thinking some people might fly in to go see it, but I think honestly, DreamHack has grown so much from what we had as like the first one, because the first one was barely sold out. Like you could still get tickets.
Yeah.
For ages. The second one did a little bit better, and then this one was like the biggest one.
Mm-hmm.
And then now they're probably going to combine it with IEM Sydney. Well, I mean IEM Melbourne.
Yep.
It's going to probably sell out really quickly, I'd say.
I was going to say, it's probably going to sell out probably instantly. I remember that I was going to go to a DreamHack Masters back in the day for Joshin Winter, but that was cancelled due to COVID, which was unfortunate because that was December that year. Mm-hmm. And they were going to hire out the ice rink arena, which is near the Congress Hall, that they call it.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it gets Kin Ups right next to it. And it'll be an absolute insane, you know, I missed that out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think, you know, will they hire out the entire, like, Rod Laver, Margaret Court? Obviously, they got the convention hall as well as the John Cain Arena as well. Like, will they go further than that? Because there's a lot of buildings there they could take more use of, or do they just expand Rod Laver to be more of a full arena event?
Yeah, I think they might do that, because I think they might do that, and then it's like, yeah, they have DreamHack in like the convention hall, and they have like the main big arena in the middle. That's where IEM is going to be. I feel like.
Because I feel like I think IEM, like if you have it in Melbourne in particular, you're right. You'd have to use the convention setup, because I mean Sydney did really well because of SXSW as well. Like, you know, got a lot of foot traffic.
SXSW. Yeah.
And I've always said this as well. I think I said this on Twitter. Like, if you're gonna have an event, you can't have, because someone's hoping it's in Sydney. You can't have IEM in Sydney and then DreamHack in Melbourne, because it just doesn't work because you split the audience. But if you have it in the same place, you get both. I really do hope to have a tier 1 event in Australia again. I think overall last time we had IEM Sydney, I think we had a few talent come here early because I do remember Heku going to I think Sydney Zoo and stuff like that as well. And I think it would be good for a lot of talent in particular that, don't really get to go to these places because all they do is just travel around Europe most of the time and go to South America and North America one time. To really just come to
occasionally China, which, Chengdu and stuff.
And, Australia's like, a rich tourist destination as well where they can go to any of those areas, except obviously Melbourne don't have any good beaches.
Yeah, Melbourne don't have good beaches. They don't have Bondi, which is...
Yeah, well, they're not Queensland or WA, that's for sure, because they have wonderful fucking beaches.
What beaches do we have in Queensland? We have the Gold Coast. That's it.
That's it. The Gold Coast. That is the beach. It's overrated.
It is. Bondi is overrated as well. My gosh, it's just filled with tourists, and I'm like, ugh.
And also as well, with IEM City last time, a lot of talent did come out and meet up and whatnot, and Fortress was absolutely booming during Sydney as well. So I think I met you a few times as well, and I was going with a full rotation each time, going to the VIP party, talking to people, coming back down.
Yeah, you met me at the XSSW because I was too young to go to Fortress.
Oh yeah, that's right. I
was 17 at the time.
Yeah, that's right. So I went to get all the signing sessions as well to get all the players and whatnot, because you never know, they might not ever come back. Still got Nexus' signature as well. Fucking awesome.
I've got Nexus signature. I've got Flames, and then I've got Dexter as well because from DreamHack Melbourne, the first one that they had.
Yeah. Oh, Dexter's a champ, man. He stayed around after Fnatic were eliminated in Sydney for a while as well. After all the Fnatic boys had left, that was pretty awesome. But yeah, overall, I'm just hoping for an IEM Melbourne as well. But I don't really mind where that tournament goes. But more tournaments in Australia, the better, especially with Valve's new changes in 2025, where the Oceanic AU scene. Well, I don't see too much difference because previously we were being excluded because we didn't have the Louvre agreement in place. So we only had the leagues. We could only get the leagues to get in, basically. And also, Blast and PGL weren't hosting events in Australia anyway. So FlyQuest getting invited was very difficult. And also, not to mention, even with the Valve rankings, FlyQuest wouldn't be at the top of it anyway. So, I know a lot of people who have complained about this, but I feel that's an EU and NA-centric issue where, it's going to become more of an exclusive club. That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of feel about it as well. That's why it's good to have a tournament at least in Melbourne, where we can at least get some teams and some people that can support as well.
Yeah.
And I do remember talking to some of the DreamHack Melbourne guys when ESL Pro League was going on at the same time. They were worried about people going to the CS event. And I do remember people talking about Spirit coming to Melbourne. And I'm like, Spirit's not coming to Melbourne. They've got the points and they've got the invites. They don't need it. But you got some really good teams. You had, MIBR, you had Apex, you had Rebels,
Apex,
and you had Aurora as well, Aurora. And I'm just let's talk about hyping these teams up because, and also you had Rush, you had a major winner, Party Astronauts.
Yeah.
And
I forgot he wasn't there.
Yeah. So I took a picture of Rush as well. So.
Yeah.
But we got some probably amazing teams to get behind in general, and MIBR boys are fun. They told me that they would 2-over a team and win the tournament. They didn't. They lost the map to Apex.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I feel even if we get it, great. If we get it a different tournament instead, even great. Just as great as well.
Yeah.
As long as I gotta say, as long as we have some characters. I mean, Carrigan was so immense for IEM Sydney. He was one of the best people I've ever seen. Always just getting the crowd involved. He's the composer of the orchestra. He's just cheer for me.
Yep, help everyone.
Stop the bold people. Bold is bad. Bold going down.
I say scrap the cash prize. If you win Sydney, you have to shave your head bald.
Dude, it's actually quite funny. The reason why I put up that meme is because they had a picture of a Liege of hair on Liquid and a picture of a Liege bold and complexity. And I'm just like, he's better at complexity. That means
he's better at complexity than he is at Liquid. So
it's the hair. It's the hair. 100% the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I say, what do you think the future of Australian Counter-Strike and its ability to hold international tournaments is going to be like under the new changes? Is it going to be any difference, or could Australia see more tournament or less tournaments, or is it just like, oh, it's just business as usual, mate? Like, we get it when we get it.
I think right now, just like, I think I'm happy with the 2 events we get a year, like, because we have DreamHack. Well, we have DreamHack that's going to sign the 5-year agreement with Rod Laver, so that's good. We can get ESL Challenger for the next 5 years, which is great. At least we'll have an event. But it's like, if we have like an IEM Sydney as well, I'm happy with at least having 2 events a year, because like some places, you don't even get one, and it's like like that. But right now, I think we're in a good space for like teams, because you've got Rooster doing well domestically. You've got Talon, they're slowly coming up. And then you've got FlyQuest, and who recently did just win ESL Challenger Atlanta. So it was good to see.
Yeah, and you also got Snapify as well, and you also got Mindfreak doing very, very well as well. Wonder how they're going to do in ESL Pro League, and also not just that, like not just the the top teams in general of Australia, like LAN stuff like that. You also had the LAN at Fortress Sydney, which I went to as well.
Oh yeah.
And you also you had the LAN at TGX. You also had the LAN at PAX as well. Like that was more of a free play LAN, proof of concept, as Flam mentioned to me. And TGX, I think, are bringing back a CS LAN potentially. I need to ask them about it, but it seems like they were very happy with how that went with the teams that they invited and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then you've got, if I'm not sure how ANZC and Fortress went with that first event, and I felt that event went really well. It was really, really fun. Interacting with a lot of people.
Event went really well, as my face was on the screen.
Oh, the joke was at the end of it, because I kept going back to play Path of Exile, and then I was like, Josh is addicted to it. I had time at Fortress, so I just grabbed one of the LAN computers and slapped on Path of Exile.
Yeah, I was in Berlin, and I was just chatting crap in chat, and then Flam was just like, "Oh, send a picture of your face," and I was like, "Okay, cool." Sent Mordred a picture, and then he put it up on the screen in the arena, and I was like, "Fuck."
Oh man,
I was like, I was like, good content. I'll take it.
You see Mordred, man, as a producer, man. Mordred has he's kind of like the Clark Kent with glasses on, glasses off, because once he gets into producer mode, he's just like full producer. No talking, no chat or anything like that. Producer, focus on content, focus on the stream best as can. And he puts the glasses back on, and he's like, "You can joke and talk to me now."
Yeah.
But anyways, I think that'll be it for today. I think we've done a lot of gas bagging overall. I think one question in particular, what is the perfect fan experience for yourself, from a crowd and anything else wise in particular? What do you look for in a fan, as a fan, for the crowd, the food and drink and stuff like that as well?
Yeah. For me, it's like, it's not even like about like the food, like food, drinks or anything. Like, I just want, like, a lot of the time I just want the crowd to be interested and into it. Like, if it's the crowd's happy to like cheer on teams that aren't even from their region, I'm happy, because I'm like, at least other teams will show, be like, oh yeah, this crowd's good. And it's like, to me, it's like, I can always get really frustrated with like when they had, Rio, I was like, the grand finals were on, and it was like, no one was cheering, no one was chanting, nothing. I was like, why the fuck do you want an event then? Like, there's no point if you're not going to care about the team. Like, if your national team gets eliminated in groups, are you even going to show up? Like, there's no point to me. So I always get like really just like frustrated, because I'm just like, you pay money to come to these events. If your team's out, why would you ditch? Like, there's no point. You came to see the game. You came to see, as I always say, as like the art of the game, the art of CS and all that, instead of just ditching because, oh, my favorite team's gone. Like, after G2 were eliminated from Cologne, I still stuck around. And I was cheering with the Navi fans because I was like, a lot of the Navi fans, like, they were really friendly, and I was just like, oh, that's fine. I was having fun.
Okay, so it's basically more the crowd atmosphere. Just as long as everyone sits there and just enjoys the CS, it isn't about teams or whatnot. It's like just love CS for what it is.
Yeah, just love it for like what we have it for. It's like like the last CS Go event. It was like, wow. It was like that was the end. I was like, wow, that's it. And then Sydney was the first big CS2 LAN. And I was like, wow, everyone's interested. Everyone's cheering. Everyone's chanting. Everyone's singing. I'm like, I'm happy to see that because I know then the people are invested and actually want to see the game.
Anyways, like I was gonna say, I was gonna say, definitely want to see that. People love the game, the screaming, the shouting, the banners, the banter, just the crowd in general, like, beach balls, whatever antics the crowd gets up to, of course, within the realm of reason and not going, to over the top to injure anyone or anything like that. I was wondering as well, if people want to catch you up on Twitter or anything like that or talk to you, like, where can they chat with you in particular? Because I know you post a lot on Twitter.
Yeah, most of the time, you can just DM me on Twitter, and I'll probably I'll answer, or I'll get to it later, or you can just actually mostly that's just it. Yeah, message me on Twitter because like most of my other social media is like I have my only like really close friends on, and that's it. Just because, but most of the time, just if you want to talk to me, have a chat and talk to me, message me on Discord or Twitter, and I'm just happy to chat and blab away.
Yep. So I'll also link your Twitter. Your Twitter is Deadshot 1956. Is that 1956 there? Like because you had to put it there because there's like too many Deadshots, or
no?
Is that number significant?
Know why. I know it's just a random number I just typed in because originally I changed my username because it had my real name in it. So I was just like, oh, I'm changing it anyway. But originally I just changed it because I got banned on League of Legends and I was like, okay, I don't know what to do now. And I was just like, all right, typed in my username and I just typed in random numbers. I just hit random numbers at once. I was like, oh, okay, there, no meaning or anything. And people were like, are you born in 1956? I'm like, no.
that's obviously the big one. Obviously, I'm like, no, he ain't. He said he's no, 18, mate.
I'm 18. I'm old. Yeah. I'm old, but not that old.
Retirement home, boomer. What's your pick?
I need the retirement home.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, dude, and just sharing experiences in those events in particular and sharing your thoughts on what's needed for like at big events in particular. Really appreciate it. And also sharing, your times with various talent members and whatnot, and people behind the scenes that people don't really generally see on camera. They're the ones, making the big events happen.
Yeah, no problem.
Anyways, guys in the crowd, see you guys later. If you guys are on YouTube, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I do podcasts every week. And also, you guys on Twitch, I do podcasts every week as well. And keep an update on my Twitter, twitter.com/onlyjoshontv. See you guys later.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.